think this thing is straight. It looks straight. It may be crooked. It may be crazy. Oh, just maybe a lunatic you're looking for. Turn out the lights. Don't try to save me. You may be wrong, all I know. You may be right. You may be wrong, but you may be right. Who doesn't like Billy Joel, huh? Give it up for Billy. Crazy bastard. My God. Guys, it's been one hell of a month. This is the longest I probably went with not doing a video, you know, and I felt, in the back of my mind, I'm like, God, I gotta do a video. I felt bad, but it's like you want the good news or the bad news, because I got both. Bad news first, you know, 2 weeks ago, I was in a hospital with my daughter in Indianapolis for 5 days. Not to get too personal, but, you know, this is what's going on. This is Rudy's world. My world isn't all fun and games all the time and, so, you know, playing with masks and diamonds and shit. No, my daughter has been having these weird little seizures for over a year now. And she's 13. Not to get too into her private life, but they think her puberty could have triggered this stuff a year ago. And it's not like the horrific seizures some people get that are really bad where they're on the floor. But we noticed she'd be staring off into space, like completely out of it. We'd be like, hey, you know, like when we first seen this, we're like, what is going on? Not understanding, like, what did you just see what she did? She was totally not responsive. Then she snaps out of it, you know. And to make a long story short, once that happens, sometimes they're a lot worse than others, but she'll get a horrible migraine where it is brutal on the child. And she'll sleep for 3 to 4 hours just out. Oh, fuck off. They wipe, these kind of seizures wipe kids out. It takes all their energy out of them and they're done, you know? So it's like we want to get to the bottom of it. She's been on a medication, you know, that's helped greatly, but it hasn't fixed her, you know? And with the seizure medicine, she may get one every couple weeks. Off the medicine, 2 to 4 a day, you know. And it's all due to the way a little spot in her brain grew as a baby, and apparently it's very common. It's so common. In my business, you know, jewelry and all that and diamonds, I've met a lot of doctors and surgeons, and I know a lot of people way up in the medical field, and every single one of them says, oh, it's so common, usually kids grow out of it. We're like, yeah, like we can't bet on that. Like, you know, she can't take a bath. She has to shower. She can't be, not that she goes on ladders, but she can't be on high stuff alone. She can't go swimming in a pool by herself. She'll be 14 this year, which means before you know it, she will be taking driving classes if she's able to. So it's very difficult, and we want to get her fixed. So she was hooked up to all these electrodes 2 weeks ago, and it was very, very rough watching her. You know, they took her off her medicine. I had to sit there every night watching her have seizure after seizure throughout the day or night. But it was a good thing because they record all our brain waves, and it was insane. But the big follow-up is tomorrow with the doctors, where we really learn a lot more about this, and we learn if she is a candidate for this invasive laser surgery, which scares the shit out of me, but apparently it's amazing. You know, so that's the kind of crazy shit I've been dealing with. So that's the bad news. There is light at the end of the tunnel. We did find out it's the left side of her brain in one small area, which is great. The last thing you want are seizures coming from all different parts of your brain, and that's really not good. So everything's pointing towards this good, you know, thing or results or whatever. I don't even know how to explain it to you right now. I'm so out of my mind. But I had to make a video for you. The good news. This past week, now this week, I just got home last night, drove 10 hours back here from the good old Frankenshrine. Yes. So I brought a massive load of beautiful latex rubber goodness for you all to see and enjoy and learn about. And there's some really great stuff in this haul. I spent 5 days this time with Frank's brother. It's been like 6 months since I've been out there, so we had a lot of catching up to do. And God, we had fun. You know, there's times we just sit there all night in the collection room, just in awe. You know, the main collection. There's many rooms, but the main room is all 80s wood paneling. It is like, you know, guy my age, it's our dream come true to walk into a time capsule like this, where you're like, look at this. This is like walking into an amazing mask and horror collection from 1984. It's insane. So there's still lots of stuff and lots of cool, you know, models and things I got to bring back, but I brought back most of the great masks from Frank's. There's still a handful of killer things that I just couldn't fit this time, so we boxed them up and they're ready to come home. But my God, it's crazy. You know how many videos I've done for you and how many times I've driven there, brought stuff back by the carload, by the SUV load, stuff to the gills. If you didn't know that, you wouldn't know one thing was taken out of there. There's that much shit still. I'm like, I told his brother, I go, this is crazy. Look at this stuff. You know, we just laugh. Like it's crazy that one man did what he did. So here we're back with the episode of Artifacts from the Frankenshrine. This will also be like a Mailbox Monday type episode. We're going to start off opening some amazing boxes that are sitting behind me. Big boxes. A couple straight from California from my foam filler buddy with some rare stuff that was foam filled. And then some new pieces that are really cool that I never in a million years thought I'd get my hands on. They originated from the original masters from a gentleman by the name of Kirk Brady. Yes. If you know this channel, you'll know Kirk Brady. And you'll know some of the masks I've got from him. So this will be interesting. It's been so long since I've talked to you guys. A lot's been happening, so bear with me. I'm trying to get back in the swing of doing videos for you. I don't think I have many trips in the future. I hope not. I just want to stay home, you know. So let's start off. Oh no. Let's start off by rearranging this, and we're going to first of all open some boxes here and see what came back from my friend who foam filled some great things for me. And the good old Chewy boxes. Yes. Oh my God, I got too much shit here. Yes. You always want to be careful not to slice into the contents of a box like this. You know, because they're rubber masks. I think he successfully got a good fill on everything. One mask had a little leak, not the end of the world, so it needs a little attention. So this should be exciting. And believe me, guys, I felt, obviously, my daughter is my priority. Holy smokes. Wow. Oh, this is the Screeb. Remember the Screeb? The amazing Screeb. House of Horror. One of the best House of Horror, right? House of Horror. It's got to, yeah, this is a House of Horror. This is a Joe Reader mask. My buddy said he got a good fill on it. This one I was nervous about because it's the only copy I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Oh man, he did get a good fill on this sucker. Look at it. Look how nice. Look at that. Beautiful, clean work. And I've said it time and time again, foam filling is an art. You don't just go put a bunch of foam in a mask and hope for the best. Shaping it, making sure it maintains that original shape is everything to these masks. Otherwise, they're going to look all distorted, and you're going to say, who the hell foamed that thing? But this was foamed by the best. No doubt the best. Maskahuna, thank you. Holy cow. And don't look him up because he's not going to foam fill. Unfortunately, he's not filling anything for anybody anymore. Just his old clients, guys. So, man. Is that not one of the coolest masks you've ever seen? I think it's late 80s, the Screeb. I'll have to think about that, but wow. Beautiful. Let's move some of this weird shit and get Screeb over here off to the side. Whoa! Because I want to display these masks that were foam filled that are going to be coming out of this box and the next box. So this box only has 2 masks in it. The other being a very rare David Smith mask. This one is a zombie David Smith made. Oh my God, what is the name of this mask? Another fine fill. Look at this. Very rare David Smith zombie. What the hell's the name of this? I have it right here. Guys, my brain is shot, okay? From all the stuff I've been going through and the week I just had at the Frankenshrine. Back from the Dead, it's called. That's right. David Smith, Back from the Dead. Here's the original catalog photo from David Smith's old catalog. Isn't that cool? This is the only copy I've ever seen. You know, I have not collected or seen many David Smith masks ever, you know. As of recently, the past year or two, I started getting my hands on them. I've seen them in pictures, but man, having the stuff here is awesome. So that is a great old David Smith mask. Some of you may see this crazy mask here. This is one of my favorite masks in the whole collection. It might trigger some people out there, I understand. My intentions are not, you know, to trigger people or to upset anyone. I just think it's a cool fucking mask. He sent me some Monsterpalooza stuff to read and the Halloween Society book flyer coming 2024. Yes, that's going to be a book to get your hands on, guys. Thank you, Huna. So far, I am greatly pleased with the work you've done. Let's open the second box now. Yikes. You know, I like headhunters. I like crazy shit like that. I grew up, you know, enchanted by the thought of jungle people taking someone and putting them in a big pot, cooking them, or cutting their head off and shrinking it. It was a really interesting thing to me as a child. So, of course, I think it's a cool mask. Not saying all those people do that, so you gotta be so careful these days. You gotta say, oh, I didn't mean that. You know, get the hell out of here. Oh my God. So now, moving on. Ow! This one I was worried about. Ooh, okay. So this is the rare Jordu shell werewolf with the blood. Remember this mask? This is so cool. And this is, you know, I say it's rare and it's amazing. Some people may go, that is the lamest wolf I've ever seen. But to me, it's awesome, you know? And to me, it's going back to the old days when I was probably 12, 10, 12. He was sculpting this at the age of 15. I don't know how old he is now. He's a little, we're close in age. He may be a year or two older than me. I don't know. But this mask, it looks like it needs maybe a little more cleaning. I cleaned it really well before I sent it out there. I was really worried about this dried blood. It's like a shell, like nail polish on a nail. When that foam head was stuck in here, I was losing my mind. Trust me, foam heads on an aged mask, if it doesn't ruin the mask still ages, and you can't just stretch it off of that bulbous head. You have to dissect that head in there with tools and knives, and you're twisting and pulling that mask, and you're getting madder by the minute. And I was so worried it was going to break that blood, and it didn't. So that is an awesome thing. This one had a little leakage here on the ear, no big deal. A little dark brown paint here and there will hide that. You can't really clean it off because it's old, because it's foam, but that will clean up awesome. Now the other two in here we talked about recently, because I'm trying to put together a second set of these distortions masks. And here we have good old Mr. Hack. Look at that. You remember he did fill the Jordu customized bloody ones for me not too long ago, maybe last year. So this one is going towards the set I want to build. I want to build a set of 3 with the factory paint jobs, and that looks good. He's so critical. He's like, I don't know if I got the best fill on the 2 distortions pieces, but it looks amazing. I couldn't make it look that good. God, this is it Blasted? Blasted, right? I always mess up the name of him. I've called him Bashed. You can call me Joe, and you can call me Blasted. Looks good. I'm very happy with that. Nice factory paint up on him. This lineup is so crazy to me. It's just showing you these are amazing. I can't believe I have some of these sitting here. These, yes, but this guy, and especially that, can't believe I own these masks. Let's carefully get the box out of the way, because I want to keep going with this video. I don't want this video to be 1,000,000 hours long. I want to get to the point. And when I tell you I brought home some great stuff from Frank's, I am not kidding. And tonight, before we tune out, I'm going to show you 1 or 2 of those new pieces, the artifacts from the Frankenshrine. So that's what we're here for. Vintage masks, you know. Hope you all been okay with no problems, you know. That's one thing I want to mention. You think you're having a bad day? Go hang out at a children's hospital for a week. You think you're having a bad day and life is unfair? Fuck. You know, the hospital we are dealing with is Riley's in Indianapolis, and they are incredible. Took 5 months to get her in there, but it is no doubt incredible. Great staff, very knowledgeable. Everything they did with her. Shut up! So, like I was saying, children's hospitals, walking around the hallways, you know, you see the parents of other children, you know, walking through there, and you're standing at the elevator with people either going up or down from the bottom floor or whatever, and it's a feeling like no other, because you know these people have been like up all night in these rooms with their kids, and it's, God knows what's going on with all the children in that place, you know. We're what we're dealing with pales in comparison to what some people are dealing with. I know that, you know, and I can't imagine what some of these parents are going through. Just hanging out by the parking garage ticket machine where people are waiting to get their tickets paid to get the cars out of the garage every person standing around that machine looks like they went through hell and back during the night or that morning. And everyone just looks like a zombie, you know? And it's a horrible feeling. And it makes you think all kinds of crazy stuff. But man, you think things are bad and tough. It is like, it's unbelievable what some people have to deal with, you know? So, just a thought, it was in my mind, you know? I said, I gotta touch on that. I don't want this to be a somber video, but it was not the best of times, you know? We had a good time. We built Legos in her room every day and at night, and you know, got the time to go by faster than normal. So she was very strong. Really impressed me with the way she handled being there. So these boxes are from my buddy Josh. Wazzy. I call him Wizzy. I've called him all kinds of stuff over the years. But is it? Yeah, this is from him. I didn't even know this was happening. My buddy goes, yeah, Josh got the Kirk Brady molds. And I go, well, what? Josh got Kirk Brady molds? I go, what are you talking about? Kevin told me. He goes, yeah, look, there's a new Belial casting. You know, I got the Belial here with the horns. Kirk Brady original. And I'm like, what? So I call Josh. I go, what's going on here? Word on the street is you got some molds of Kirk Brady's? And he's like, oh yeah, I got them directly from Kirk himself. I go, you did? I didn't even know the guy was still alive. I always wondered about Kirk Brady. And he had, you know, there's these amazing pictures of Kirk Brady from back in the day sitting there with all his masks on this wall. Oh man. And I thought it was so cool. I'm like, look, there's masks in there I've never seen anywhere. Like, I've wanted them, I've wanted copies of them, and now I'm getting them. Whoa. This is the Demon, I believe. The Kirk Brady Demon. Let's see. Yeah, this is the Demon. It's not, you know Belial already. The story goes, I guess Josh got his hands on some masters from Kirk himself. And, wow. Nice paint job too, Josh. Thank you. This looks good. He said, I'm going off the vintage colors, whatever. I don't know if he talked to Kirk and got instructions on how he painted them, but wow. Look at that. This Brady, 1979 right there. Holy shit. Dude, this is fucking cool. Oh my god. Let me get some mask stands because I'm excited. And when I get excited, Breeze World, party time, excellent. We're gonna need 3 of them. Oh yes, because that means there's 3 Kirk Brady masks here. And listen, this isn't gonna be one of those weird things where I get something and none of you can get it. You want these? Contact Nightmare Force because he's going to be putting these out for sale. I kind of got in on the pre-run, you know. He's going to mass produce some, I believe. I talked to him one time and we did the deal, and I got to call him up and tell him how great this is. So far, so good. This is fucking cool. We will end up getting the Belial down and comparing it with the original because I have a mint original from Frank. That is an outstanding copy. To me, to my knowledge, it's the nicest Belial there is. Not that I've seen any others but one, but it's gorgeous. Maybe I've only got 2 here so far. Let's see. Because I think there's 3 tracking numbers, so maybe 1 didn't show up yet. Fuck yeah, look at that. That's Kirk sculpting Belial right there, folks. Oh my god. Yeah, this is Belial. So that means I wonder if one's on my porch right now. Let me look at my cameras. Check the surveillance system. Damn, I really wanted to show you the other mask. But it's okay because this should be pretty cool. And those of you that's seen what the real Belial sold for, that sits in my buddy's collection. There was one on eBay recently. Whoa! He can now be purchased for a great price. Brand new casting. Either production molds or masters were acquired from Kirk himself. Belial, 1978. He did follow the original colors to the best of his abilities, Josh did, and it looks great. So, let's try to stuff him a little better. So that is the brand new Belial. Now we're going to get the original Belial down from the shelf, okay? Because I'm dying to see if it was production mold or master. You know, it doesn't matter for those of you that want to buy these masks, but I'm just crazy like that. I gotta know these little details. Oh boy. I even have the Belial hands, which are freaking rare to my knowledge. Alright, let's take a look here. Look at that son of a bitch. Is that badass or what? So, alright, yeah, there's definitely a size difference. Let's get them nose to nose. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, see that? So, you know, I don't know, production mold probably. Still awesome. These are masks nobody could get their freaking hands on unless you're very lucky. I was extremely lucky to find this in Frank's. It was covered in mold too. The original Belial was covered in mold. This thing, once he's stuffed better, will look awesome. I'm covering the demon. So the third mask that's not here is the man bat. The man bat is the cool man bat with the little pointy ears. If you know Kirk's masks or have seen pictures of Kirk's masks, you'll see the man bat in some of the photos. So I gotta get a man bat. I don't know if like his face would be longer when he's stuffed differently, you know. He may slender up. This though, I mean, look at that. How do you can't compete with the original, all right? I've said this time and time again. You can pull out masters and stuff, but to me, original finishes, original castings are where it's at. But still, Josh is doing this amazing thing by bringing these lost masks back into circulation, and it's fucking cool. Way to go, Nightmare Force. God, I wish the third box was here. That's driving me crazy. So the man bat, I think he painted it blue. I'll show you a picture right now of my friend's trio that he bought, and you'll see the man bat there. See that? So, pretty awesome. Dude, Josh, thank you. I'm very happy. Time for an artifact from the Frankenshrine. Oh my God. Look at that in all its glory. This amazing set, and it is a set, it has the hands, the creepy hands from the original It, which I love. I love it. I've always loved it. I wasn't crazy about the new one. And the thing is, if you weren't there back in the day watching it, you know, when you were younger and seeing it when there was no new one, and it's something from your younger childhood. I don't know if I was a child, but I was young. And I could see how people now that are young would be like, oh, that one sucks compared to the new one. The new one's crazy. The new one's good. The second one went off the rails with that weird ending, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I thought What's-His-Face did a nice job playing Pennywise the clown. But, you know, Tim Curry has a special place in my heart for many reasons, many movies he's done. But this, look at this. This Pennywise was made by Chuck Jarmin. And to my knowledge, a friend of mine told me, I don't know if this is true, if Chuck sees this, but a friend of mine told me that Frank had the first copy Chuck ever made. So, and this thing, there was so much stuff at Frank's that this was in a garage down below this cabinet. I remember like leaning over all this stuff and going, oh my God, there's a Pennywise down there. I seen their hair and I'd seen the makeup. I go, it looks nice, like super nice, you know. I don't think I've ever owned a Pennywise clown. And this, to me, it's one of the best I've ever seen, you know. I don't know what year Chuck produced these, but look at this thing. I spent some time today cleaning it up. The piece is foam filled. I don't know if Chuck foam filled this for Frank when he produced it, or if this was sent to Mascahuna back in the day. And I don't think this is, like I said, super old. This could be 90s or early 2000s, maybe. Probably early, I don't know. I didn't see any markings on it. But I do know Chuck did make this. And look at that. Look how nice the quality of this sucker. I fell in love with it. As soon as I seen it, I reached down and grabbed one of the hands and pulled it out. And look at that. So you can tell the orangey colored foam. That's old foam. You know, definitely an older foam job. Beautifully foamed though. The hands are shaped, you know, really nice. Remember these come out like, oh, creepy. Excellent job, Chuck. You did a stellar job on the sculpture, on the paint and the hair and the costume work. It's everything about it is gorgeous. So as soon as I seen it, I go, I gotta get this back to the collection. I spent about a half hour slowly, you know, going over it with a damp paper towels, and you could see the dark, you know, nasty shit coming off of it when I clean it. But I think I got it really cleaned up. I took a canned air and I blew out his clothing as best I could and his hair. He's got some little specks in there still, but overall, man, it came out nice. And that, to me, was something I wanted to start off this new run of artifacts from the Frankenshrine on, because Chuck knocked it out of the park. I could just hear him right now. Good old Tim Curry. Look at that. What do you guys think of this? I know the new movies have this insane following. You know, I know everyone loves the new clown, but you know, this was my Pennywise in, you know, when I first saw Stephen King's It. And this will always remain my favorite. So, beautiful, beautiful work by Chuck. And Chuck, if those of you that don't know, I never knew this, but he started off making pieces under the name of Boris around 2001, because I just got another piece by him. And later, you all will know him by Bump in the Night. If you have Bump in the Night masks and whatnot, that's Chuck, same guy that made this cool Pennywise clown. And remember I had that Deadly Spawn puppet not too long ago. That was also one of his pieces. He is a talented dude. I want to show you, before we change this up, I want to show you the mouth in the light. Like, look at the coloring and the clear he used in there to make it that wet appearance. Like, look at that. Just awesome. Great work. So I'm so happy I brought this thing home. All right, what else are we going to show you from the good old Frankenshrine? Hang tight. All right. So I'm going to show you two versions of the same character. All right, two versions of the same character by two different artists. Both artists are/were amazing. The first, so the character was played by Christopher Lee, and Christopher Lee played many, many great roles, as you all know. Christopher Lee is one of my favorite people that ever was in this genre of film that we love so much. So those of you that know the movie Curse of Frankenstein, very famous look when Christopher Lee played the monster. And the first version is going to be by the late Sam McCain. This guy's is definitely a rare mask. You just won't see it out there hardly ever. I've only seen one or two others ever, but look at that. First, when I acquired this from Frank's collection, he was pretty moldy. So I spent the morning with the brushes and paper towels. You'll see the before and the after look. The before, he was very monotone looking. You didn't see the nice red scars or anything. And spent about an hour on him, you know, lightly vacuuming this custom clothing that was done by... Frank had a friend who was a tailor who made custom clothing and suits. And Frank would have him make these amazing accessories for masks. If you see other copies of this out there, I doubt they're going to have stuff like this on them. They might. People can make their own stuff, but this is quality costume making for the mask. And it looks like it's from the film. It's really, really neat. Sam McCain, David Lady features this in one of his books. And at the time, he was saying this to him was Sam's best work. You know, Sam's no longer with us, but at the time of David's book, he was saying that he thought this was Sam McCain's greatest work, and it is really great. So I always liked his T1000 he did. I saw it at the show. That was the only time I ever got to meet Sam McCain in person, you know, and talk to him for a few minutes. But you know, not too much longer after that. We lost him, but his work no doubt lives on, and this is really, really amazing to have here in the collection. I needed more Hammer film pieces here, you know, and Frank was, oh my god, the cats are going nuts. Frank was one of the kings of Hammer horror masks, you know. Lots of great Christopher Lee stuff. You could tell that Christopher Lee was one of Frank's all-time favorite actors. Some of his favorite movies of all time featured Christopher Lee. So now we're going to move him over and bring another version of this. What the fuck? Hey! You fat ass! Same character, same movie. However, this version was sculpted by the great Carol Hicks. So check this out. Look at that, guys. So, quite different. And we're going to pick this up. Sam McCain's version on the left. Carol Hicks did a amazing version herself. And I'm pretty sure, let me pick this up and get it out of my hand. Pretty sure this one was painted by David Lady. But look at this. Has you could say this has more detailing in the sculpt than McCain's. It's got a little different shape to it. Maybe it's not as slender in the head, although it's not foam filled or anything. But it's a really thick casting. This thing can stand up by itself. I'm gonna put him back up here. So hold on. This thing. And see, here's what I want you to take note of. Hold on, let me get this. This thing, it's sitting here like this, but if I do that, he becomes more slender and looks like he's supposed to. So not being on a mask stand, let me see if I have a damn mask stand available here real quick. This might help the overall look of this piece from not being distorted, you know. When the mask is someone's face that's very familiar, like in movies or whatever, you know the actor, that distortion can really throw off the look of the quality of it. And people might say, it doesn't quite look like him. But that could be due to the fact that it's not sitting right. It's not stuffed right. That looks a lot better to me. But how cool is that, huh? 2 of them. And Frank had these very close to each other on this main wall with the brown paneling behind it. And it was such a time capsule going in that room and seeing the artifacts of the Frankenshrine all right there. All the beautiful masks Frank had. And I could see why he wanted both versions, because they're both different, both from amazing artists. Carol Hicks, my God, one of my all-time favorite sculptors, and many of her pieces are in this room, and we're going to go over more of her pieces in the weeks to come, because Frank had a lot of that stuff in his collection from her. So, what do you guys think? Which is your favorite? Do you like the Sam McCain version? Very rare. Or the Carol Hicks version, which is also very hard to come by. I think David Lady promoted this one with the flyer. I probably had that original flyer. I should have dug it out for this. But it was one of those things where you could order it through David, and he would paint them and hair them. You know, this would be great with custom shoulders and clothing like this, wouldn't it? It would really, really set this one off as well. Gosh, so many things I want to do in this room, and I just don't have the time, you know. Should I show you one more? Since we are on the subject of Christopher Lee, I have a feeling I want to show you one of the greatest pieces the Frankenshrine ever had on display. And it's sitting right next to me in this room. A lot of guys that know me and that are in my Facebook group are going to know exactly what it is. But to me, it is one of Frank's best masks of all time. It's a Christopher Lee character sculpted by one of the greatest of all time. It's a Christopher Lee character sculpted by one of the greatest of all time, Mr. Henry Alvarez. And I'm going to get it out for you because this, what I'm about to show you, is spectacular. It is one of the nicest masks I've ever seen. Okay, and of course, it's from the Frankenshrine collection, right? We're going to spread these boys out, and we're going to get it, and we're going to put it right here in the middle, and we're going to show you how much cooler this can get with Christopher Lee. Oh boy. This piece has a little bit of dust and stuff on the clothing. You'll have to forgive me, but look at this. This is insane. Oh my God. Yeah, there's dust and shit because this was sitting on the floor. Look at that. This is crazy. I can't even begin to tell you how amazing this looks in person. So yes, another Christopher Lee piece, but to me it's the ultimate Christopher Lee piece. It is sculpted by the great Henry Alvarez, of course. Do you know what movie this is from? Sculpted in 1991, but the movie is much older. This is from Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, where Lee, it's like, you know, I call it a famous scene, but he gets a stake to the heart and instantly wakes up screaming like this, from that stake being driven into his heart. And this is taken from that moment, that exact moment, and he makes that face. And Henry Alvarez certainly captured it very well. We are going to move the other guys away so you can really appreciate this in all its glory, because this is pretty phenomenal. And I really want you to see it alone. It's a piece I've wanted for a long, long time. I tried, when Frank was alive, I tried to buy it from him, and he would look at me like I was insane. Like, are you kidding me? And I know that feeling. I've had lots of people try to buy some of my best pieces, and I look at them like they're insane. So I get it. I get it, Frank. I get it. But this, now that it's alone, and we can look at this thing from all angles. I want you guys to really appreciate this piece. Of course, Frank's tailor made the custom clothing. It did not come like that. It was just a head, just a blank head from Henry Alvarez. And I have a feeling Rob Tharp probably did the paint work on it. I can't confirm that yet. I'll have to reach out to Kathy. I mean, look at that. Look at the eyes, the bloodshot eyes. I say Rob Tharp mainly because this one really gives me vibes from the old Don Post paint up that Rob has done many times on the 77 version of that. That's the 83 blue version. I had a killer 70s version that Gene Kroll talked me out of, which I should never have sold, but I had to do it. And this totally reminds me of the coloring used and the shading that Rob did on that original one that I had. And even the hair work reminds me of Rob Tharp customization, you know. So I could be way off, but I'm getting Rob Tharp vibes from this. And let's hold it up in the air. Hang on. You guys gotta see this thing like this, okay? Look at that. It's crazy. God damn it. Beautiful, beautiful work. Of course, the sculpture is everything. Like, Henry Alvarez is one of the masters when it comes to sculpting likenesses of people like this. But everything adds to this. The paintwork, the hair work, and especially the custom clothing. I mean, it looks like him from the film. It's great. But you can, I think a lot of you will agree this is probably one of the best Christopher Lee pieces out there. I do know a gentleman that has the same piece painted up exquisitely like this in his collection out in California. So I'm not saying this is the best one, but it's one of the best. I would say it's one of the best. And straight from the old Frankenshrine. God, it's crazy. I've wanted this piece for so long, and it really is amazing having it here. I don't know where it's going to go yet. I don't know. This place is crazy. I mean, there's stuff everywhere. Look at this. So that remains to be seen. On top of it, not just this piece needs to find a home. I think I brought home 45 masks this time from the Frankenshrine. And books. Ooh, yes. Really cool books that we are going to do a video on of just the books. You monster kids are going to like this. Trust me. Especially you comic book collectors, you creepy, eerie Vampirella guys. I brought home some amazing stuff from Frank's regarding those names. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, I had to get a video out to you guys because I felt so bad not even being able to tell you I was going through all this stuff, you know, where I couldn't post. I was away for a week down in Indianapolis, getting my daughter all squared away, and then, literally, 2 or 3 days later, headed right off to the Frankenshrine for a week, and God, it flew by. But man, cool stuff is upstairs. It's in holding. We'll call it in holding pattern, because a lot of it needs to be cleaned before it ends up down here. Deep cleaning on some, light cleaning on others, and I got some great stuff for you to see, especially if you're Hammer horror fanatics. So thank you, and once again, we're getting back into the mask mode here on the channel. Car stuff on the way too. I always say that, but there is, oh God, I've been on the top of all this other stuff. I'm still restoring the Trans Am, and it's really come a long way. So stay tuned for that kind of stuff, and I might be buying another car that, if I do, we'll do a video of me yanking it out of this old garage. It's from 1971. It's black on black, but I'm not going to spoil what that is just yet. It's pretty cool, though. All right. Thank you. I need to get upstairs and do some editing and get this video online. So I'm glad I'm back, and I'll see you guys real soon.